Ever feel like your loved one is selectively ignoring you? One minute they're responsive, the next nothing. It's not your imagination and it's not your fault. Here's what's really going on and what to do about it. Hi, I'm 𝗥𝗲𝘀𝗽𝗁. My wife Sonia was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in January 2020 at the age of 65. I've seen too many caregivers suffer physically, emotionally, and mentally, oftentimes more than the loved ones they care for. I was determined not to let this disease take me down, and I found a way to cope. Now I help other caregivers do the same. Let me ask you this. Do you ever find it frustrating that sometimes your loved one can manage simple tasks or respond to what you're saying, and other times they can't or don't? If so, you're not alone. This is one of the most confusing and emotional aspects of caring for someone with dementia. Let me share a couple of examples from my own experience. About half the time, Sonia will stand up from sitting on her own or get in and out of the car without any assistance. On those days, it feels like a small victory, like she's holding on to a little piece of independence. But the other half of the time, she'll just sit there, staring into space as if she doesn't understand what to do at those moments. Of course, I step in to help her. It's the same when I'm talking to her. For instance, we might be out and I'm chatting with a neighbor, and in the middle of the conversation, she'll suddenly walk away as if she's forgotten we're talking. I'll call out to her, and most of the time she'll stop and come back. But there are other times when I ask her a simple yes or no question like, do you want chicken or fish for dinner? And she won't respond at all. Just silence, as if the question never registered. Does that sound familiar? If it does, you're not imagining things and you're not doing anything wrong. What's happening is that this disease creates a disconnect in the brain's ability to process information. There are moments when the brain can process what you're saying or what they need to do, and moments when it simply can't. It's like a switch being flipped on and off, often without warning. I know how frustrating this can be. It's natural to think, you've done this before, what's the big deal? But the big deal is this. The brain isn't consistent when it's affected by Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. Even familiar tasks or questions can become impossible when their brain isn't processing. This isn't a reflection of their effort or intention. It's simply how the disease works. One of the hardest lessons I've had to learn is to let go of the frustration that comes with these moments. Believe me, I understand how hard it is. There were times when I'd catch myself thinking, why can't you just do this one thing? Or why won't she answer me? But here's the truth. Our frustration doesn't help. In fact, it can make things worse. When we get upset, it adds tension to an already difficult situation, and that tension can spill over into how our loved one reacts. They might pick up on our frustration and become anxious, withdrawn, or even resistant to our help. So, what can we do? The key, as I've shared before in other videos, is acceptance. It's not about liking the situation, it's about recognizing it for what it is. Accepting that sometimes the brain works and sometimes it doesn't is the first step toward finding peace in the midst of the chaos. When we accept this, we stop expecting consistency and we start approaching each moment with a bit more patience and understanding. It's also important to remember that as this disease progresses, the brain will likely process less and less. This is a tough reality, but it's one we need to prepare for. Getting frustrated or upset won't stop the progression of the disease, but it will harm your health and lower the quality of life for both you and your loved one. And let's be honest, none of us want that. We're here because we care deeply about the person we're looking after, and we want to give them the best life possible, even in the face of this illness. Here's a little reminder I tell myself. Sonia didn't choose this, and neither did I, but it's the hand we've been dealt. While we can't control the disease, we can control how we respond to it. We can choose patience over frustration, kindness over anger, and acceptance over resistance. These choices aren't always easy, but they are worth it. Another thing to keep in mind is that your loved one isn't the only one who needs compassion. You do too. Caregiving can be exhausting, emotionally draining and isolating. Make sure you're finding ways to recharge, whether that's through support groups, talking to friends, or simply taking time to do something you enjoy. You deserve care and kindness just as much as your loved one does. So the next time your loved one struggles with a simple task or doesn't respond to something you say, try to remind yourself that it's the disease, not them. Take a deep breath and approach the situation with empathy. Your calm presence can make a world of difference, not only for your loved one, but also for yourself. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. There are millions of caregivers out there facing the same challenges, and there's a community of support waiting for you. Take care of yourself too. Your health and well-being matter just as much as theirs. All my best to you as you continue this journey with courage and compassion. Caregivers, what's one moment that caught you off guard this week when your loved one responded differently than you expected? Share in the comments. Let's support each other. If you're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or like you're losing yourself in caregiving, you're not alone. That's exactly why I created Caregiver Mastery, a step-by-step roadmap designed to help you manage stress, anger, and burnout, so you can care for your loved one without sacrificing yourself. Inside, you'll learn how to say yes to yourself without guilt, reduce overwhelm, and find peace, even in the hardest moments. I call this place Heaven Island, a state of peace, acceptance, and clarity, where you can care for your loved one without losing yourself. Now it's time to give yourself permission to breathe, to rest, and to heal. Click the link below or visit caregivermasterycourse.com to get started today. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. I post caregiver support videos every Monday and Thursday.